Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am honestly so excited for today's video because we're going to be switching things up a little bit, and instead of reading and talking about the books I'm reading, we're actually going to be playing a bookish would you rather game. So all the questions that I have are pertaining to all things bookish, and feel free to play along with me. Comment down below your answers to these would you rather questions. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the first question. Okay, so the first question is, would you rather read your favorite book again for the first time or experience your favorite plot twist again? I'm honestly gonna have to go with reading my favorite book again for the first time. As of right now, and I think for the past 2 years, my favorite book has been Magnolia-Parks' The Long Way Home. And honestly, that whole series, if I could read that whole series again for the first time, I would do so in a heartbeat. Nothing has made me feel the way I felt when I was reading that book, and like I felt so connected to those characters. So I would definitely go with reading my favorite book again for the first time. Okay, and then the next question is, would you rather have a perfect reading nook or unlimited free books? I feel like that one is so obvious. I'm gonna have to go with unlimited free books. I'm someone who can like kind of read anywhere. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my library and I love my little reading corner, but I'm definitely somebody who can pick up a book anywhere. Like, I take a book with me everywhere I go. So I'm definitely gonna have to go with unlimited free books because where I read doesn't really matter to me, but like if you're gonna give me unlimited free books, sign me up. And then the next question is, would you rather only read at night or only read in the morning? I am definitely a night owl, so I'm gonna have to go with only read at night. Also, I feel like reading in the morning tends to just put me back to sleep, so definitely a read at night type of person. Also, when like everybody else is asleep and you're reading a book, especially a fantasy book, at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., like I am so lost in the fantasy world, or just like in the world of the books that I'm reading at night. So definitely would read only at night if I had to choose. And then, would you rather DNF every book you start or never read a 5-star book again? Okay, hear me out. I would never read a 5-star book again, because at least that way I'm seeing it through. And I feel like there are so many good books still that are 4 stars, 4.5 stars, 4.75 stars. So I think I would definitely get closer to that 5-star feeling if I at least saw every book through. And I'm also somebody who has a hard time DNFing books. Like, even if I'm not really enjoying the book, it takes me a lot to DNF a book. So definitely would go with never reading a 5-star read again, because like I said, I could still get close. Okay, this next question is kind of difficult. It says, would you rather forget all of your favorite books or only be able to reread them forever? I'm also not somebody who likes to reread things. Like, it takes a lot for me to want to reread something, but also like forgetting my favorite books just sounds traumatic. Like, I went through all that with those characters. I grew up on with those characters, and you want me to just forget all of that? But also just being limited to rereading them forever, I feel like at some point they're not going to be my favorites anymore. I think I'm gonna have to go with forget all of your favorite books, because I just cannot stand the idea of having to read the same book forever and not just get to branch out and read other books. So I think I'm gonna have to go with forgetting my favorite books. Okay, and then the next question is, would you rather read a book with an amazing plot but bad writing, or beautiful writing but no plot? I think I'm gonna have to go with beautiful writing but no plot, because that way I at least enjoy the writing, and even if there's not a plot, I feel like you can still take something away from the story if it's beautifully written. So definitely gonna go with beautiful writing but no plot. Okay, and then the next one is, would you rather have spoilers for every book or never know what a book is about before reading it? Obviously, I'm gonna go with never know what a book is about before reading it. I feel like I go into a lot of my books blind, to be honest. Like, sometimes I don't even read the synopsis on the back. So definitely gonna go with never know what a book is about before reading it. I also want to start like reading and buying books that like I haven't heard other people talk about, and just like something that kind of piques my interest without even knowing anything about it. So definitely gonna go with never know what a book is about over spoilers for every book, because spoilers kind of just like defeat the whole purpose of even reading the book, in my opinion. Okay, next question is a trope question. It says, would you rather read only enemies to lovers or only friends to lovers? I am gonna go with enemies to lovers, because that is such a satisfying trope to me when characters go from hating each other to being obsessed with each other and not being able to live without each other. That is my weakness. That is my kryptonite. So definitely gonna go with enemies to lovers over friends to lovers. Okay, next question is, would you rather dog ear pages or crack spines? Cracking spines, like, Sometimes it bothers me if it's like a book that I think is a really beautiful book and like I'm really enjoying it and I want it displayed to be pretty. However, sometimes I crack a book because there's literally no other option. But I feel like dog-earing pages is also way less damaging. Sometimes I don't even like put a bookmark in my book though. Like I'll just remember the page that I'm on or literally put like whatever is next to me in a book. But sometimes I do find myself doing both of these, to be honest. So I think I'm gonna go with dog-earing pages just because it's less damaging to the book. And when I display the book, you're not gonna see the dog-eared pages. So I'm gonna go with dog-eared pages over cracking spines. And then the next question is, would you rather only read physical books or only ebooks/audiobooks? Hear me out. I absolutely love my Kindle. Like that is my prized possession. I take it with me everywhere. I love how accessible it is and how like I open it and it's like so many books are available to me. However, I am definitely a physical book girly. I just love the feeling of a physical book in my hand. And if I only did ebooks, then I wouldn't be able to display them as well. And this just brings me so much joy. And I just absolutely love reading a physical book. So definitely gonna go with physical books only. But I also really love my Kindle. And then the next question is, would you rather live in a library or a bookstore? I feel like they're both very cozy, but I also feel like they're both very different atmospheres. I feel like a bookstore is a bit more chaotic and definitely has a lot more foot traffic, while a library is quiet and a little more cozy. There's not as many people, although I feel like you may be a little limited on books compared to like the bookstore. Like I feel like the bookstore gets a lot more new releases and just like a lot more stock than the library. But I think I would go with the library just because it's more cozy and it's expected to be quiet, and that just feels more homey in my opinion. Okay, and then the next question is, would you rather only read hyped books or only read underrated books? I feel like a lot of the times hyped books that are going around aren't really that good sometimes. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been a couple of like book talk books that are really hyped up that I really enjoyed, but then there's also been a few where I was extremely let down. While with underrated books, not as many people know about them, yet they're like so good. Like there's definitely been way more underrated books that I read that I absolutely loved over hyped books. So I think I'm gonna go with underrated books because just because something's not popular doesn't mean it's not good. Okay, and then next question is, would you rather ban one trope forever or one genre forever? I think I would ban one trope forever, but what trope would I ban? I think the trope that I would ban is either the cheating trope, accidental pregnancy trope, or like insta love, like love at first sight trope. I know that's three, but those are the three tropes that I absolutely don't enjoy. But I would definitely ban a trope over a whole genre. Okay, and then the next question is, would you rather read your most anticipated book and hate it or never read it at all? I would rather read it and hate it because then at least I know, compared to like never knowing if I would have enjoyed it or not. So definitely would rather read it and hate it. I feel like that's also happened to me several times and it really hasn't impacted me that much. So definitely going with that one. And then the next question is, would you rather only read books with ugly covers or with misleading covers? Ooh, I don't know. I feel like ugly cover, good story, don't really care. A misleading cover, but like a bad story. I don't know, because then you could also have a misleading cover with a good story. And what if the misleading cover is like a pretty cover and then the story is still really good? But like if you really enjoyed the story of the ugly cover, probably don't want to display it because it's an ugly cover. I think I'm gonna go with misleading covers because misleading doesn't mean ugly. And misleading also doesn't mean bad story, just kind of means like not what I was expecting. And if it's still a good story and the cover is pretty, even though it was misleading, I feel like I'd still want to display it. So I think I'm gonna go with misleading covers over ugly covers. Okay, and then the next question is, would you rather read one couple story dragged over 5 books or rushed in 200 pages? I really think it depends on the couple and like the characters and also the writing in general, because most of the time I wouldn't want it rushed in 200 pages. I feel like I would rather have it drug out over 5 books in a series because then I really get to spend a lot of time with the characters, especially if I'm enjoying the writing and the characters and like the couple in general. So I think I would rather have it drug out over 5 books in a series. Because like rushing it with 200 pages, like you're not really getting enough time to know your characters and like have anything significant happen in that short of time. So yeah. And then next question is, would you rather only read heartbreak or only read fluffy romance? I don't know. I love both. I love high tension romances and I love heartbreaking romances. Like I said, Magnolia Parks is my favorite series of all time. And I just love the tension and I love feeling the emotions that the characters are going through. I don't know, because then I don't want to be stuck reading that. I feel like that would not be good for my mental health. But also, like, reading straight fluffy romances over and over can definitely make you hit a wall with romances. And I feel like with heartbreak romances, like there's so many ways you can do it. And like I said, there's so many emotions involved. I think I would read only heartbreak romances, to be honest, rather than just straight fluffy romances, because I am a sucker for feeling those emotions. So definitely gonna go with heartbreak over fluff. And then next question is, would you rather have no tension or no happy ending? I love myself a good happy ending. I love a good epilogue. I love when everything works out in the end. Like I said, I love high tension romances. I love high tension books. I think I would go with no happy ending. I don't know. Please don't do that to me. Don't only give me books that have no happy ending because I will be sobbing. But I think I'm gonna have to go with no happy endings because I cannot give up tension. I cannot give up yearning and tension and high emotions. I just cannot do that. And then the next question is, would you rather trust reviews or go in completely blind every time? I'm gonna go in blind completely every time. There have been so many books I've read where the reviews are terrible and I absolutely love the book. And there's also been so many times where I read a book with such great reviews and I just did not like the book whatsoever. Like, so many times, like both of those sides have happened to me. So I'm definitely gonna go in blind every time. I think it's mostly because everybody has different reading taste, obviously. What somebody likes I might not like, what I like somebody else might not like. So definitely would rather go in completely blind every time rather than having to trust somebody else's reading taste and somebody else's reviews and opinions. And then, would you rather ban movie adaptations or book to TV series forever? I think I'm gonna go with book to TV series because I honestly don't know very many book to TV series. Ooh, that would mean Outlander though. Outlander is one of the best like book to TV adaptations. I absolutely love that show and I absolutely love those books. But there's also been so many, like so many good movies that have been based on books. Like if you, I don't know. I really don't know. I think I'm gonna go with TV series just because I feel like movies are a little more satisfying when it's book to movie adaptation. I don't know though. I don't know. I'm going with TV series even though I really don't want to choose with that one. I love both of those. But I just feel like with TV series, it's so much more often that you see them get messed up. So I'm going with TV series. Okay, and then the last question is, would you rather only be able to read books that make you cry forever or books that make you bored forever? I think I'm gonna go with books that make me cry forever. Like I said, I'm a sucker for high emotions, high tension in my books. So if a book can make me cry, it's most likely gonna get a high rating from me because that means I'm feeling what my characters are feeling, which in my opinion is like an ideal reading experience, is when you're so connected to the characters that you're literally feeling the emotions that are being portrayed on words of paper. So definitely would rather read books that make me cry rather than books that make me bored. But that was the end of my list of bookish would you rather questions. That was honestly a lot of fun. Even though some of those questions were kind of difficult to choose between, I had a lot of fun playing this game. And don't forget to comment below some of your answers for these would you rather questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed hanging out with me today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more bookish videos. Bye!